Welcome to Attican Plays Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. Alright, hi, this is Attican and welcome to part 11 of our second playthrough of Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. Now in part 10, we set up our much improved clothing and in fact set up part of what we're going to be doing here, the ability to bring crops in to a silo to feed the factory, and and what I wanted to add is Modak had a question about, he thought that this line right here would cause tie-ups if two trains came in, and maybe it wasn't clear in my commentary, but there's only going to be one train coming in here. That's the plan for now. If we were going to run two, I would run more track out like this, double track this out here, put the X junction on it, and go from there. But the plan is to have exactly one train run in here, so that's good. And I think he also mentioned I don't need a chain signal going into the warehouse. I'm assuming he means right there, but I would point out that a chain signal, when it's not acting like a chain signal, acts just like a regular signal. So you could think of that as a regular one-way signal going to that warehouse. But I prefer using the chain because I like the principle of chain into an intersection and single direction exit out. So that allows me to stay true to my principles. All right, so there's a couple of things here. The main thing we're going to focus on in this episode is getting our crop production up and how we distribute our crops to what we have right now are three areas, or four. There's really four factories that need crops right now. We've got the one we've been feeding, food and alcohol, up here. We've got our our fabric factory, which needs crops, and we've also got a need for crops in the chemical plant. So we now have four places to send it, and what I also said is we're going to boost our farming. This is not nearly enough farming for what we have. So the plan is to set up a central distribution area for the crops. So what we're going to have here is we're going to have each farm, each agro farm, this is just one farm the way I'm thinking of it. This one farm is going to have a train that's going to come out here, run down the line, and go into this new area that we're setting up, which is going to have two cargo stations and a grain storage. I tried to put two grain storages in there and it just didn't want to work. But there will be a grain storage that's connected to both sides. And one of these we could think of as the in, we could think of this as the in, where's my little bush? Okay, there's our in, and then we could have all right, so this side, this one will take in crops. This side will distribute the crops. Right now there's going to be two trains there'll be one train coming in here from the one farm we have. We'll build more farms and they'll come in here. And there'll be two trains that use this platform. One will go off to deliver to here, and the other one will go off to deliver to here. So this will be a central distribution, and what we can do is think of this out here as our farmland. And as we grow more crops, we will either hook them up by rail or by truck, depending on how close they are, into this silo, and that way we can easily keep loading crops from all around into our distribution center, and then we can have our trains running out from here to go wherever they need to go. All right, so that's the plan. Now I want to talk about some very important principles about using trains in this game. In this game, the biggest thing you have to do, I believe the one thing you have to do above all else is make sure that the distance between one intersection, like here, and the next intersection, like here, is at least the length of the longest train you're going to run. Now, I run long trains. I run the biggest trains I can run all the time. So we want to have this length right here be the length of the longest train that we can run. And I thought about eyeballing it is really hard because it's amazing how long a length these trains are. So what we're going to do here is go out and measure this train right here. Actually, in fact, what we're going to do here is let this train run. We're going to tell it to stop loading and then make sure we recheck it, and we're going to run it out here to an open spot, and we're going to measure this train and see how long it is, because it's a locomotive and as many box cars as it is able to carry. So once it gets out here to a good flat spot, good flat straight spot, which I just missed, once it comes back to this nice flat spot right here, we will measure it. We've got a fire naturally. The shop, fire alerted, no problem. Okay. Okay, there's a nice straight shot right there. All right, so let's measure this thing now. What do I mean by measure? We're going to take our tool, make sure we use the consistent one. So we'll use the concrete base thing, and we're going to go from here to here. And we can see that's costing a little over 9,000 rubles. I wonder if that would vary. So what I really want to do here is say, okay, I'm going to turn off the auto build, and I'm going to measure this. Okay, notice there it says 5.7 tons of steel. So I'm going to use steel as our baseline, and we're going to make sure that all of our intersections are at least 6 tons of steel apart, and that should keep us happy. So let's go back here and start using that new data. 6 tons of steel, nice more or less round number. So can we put 6 tons of steel between here and here? Oh, see, it's very, very close, but I think it's good. 6 tons of steel. It is very tight. I think we're okay, but it's minimal. You can see how much room you need. Can you do 6 tons of steel out through here? You actually can't. See, this setup would not work with 2 trains, but it will work with 1. This one, absolutely, that one's good. And then down here, this is a T junction, and this T junction, I'm going to make sure I leave all this open. The official semaphore guide says you can put more chain signals in the middle to get more throughput, but that's the only comment I'll say there is and so now we want to make sure that we've given enough space here and here, we have, and here, but it would have to be between this and actually way down here. So we're good on that. We're good. I was very careful where I put this junction to make sure it had plenty of space. And the other thing we'll want is we want this run up to be at least 6 tons of steel, which it looks like it easily is. Well, if we could build it, let's just measure it in a straight line. Yeah, it's good. And this one is good. And then the other one is, can you get 6 tons of steel between the end of this, where the train will stop, and up here to that? And no, I think this one is a little short. I think a train here was going to stick out into this, and that will not work. We will not be able to use both of these tracks, both of the platforms. Over on this side, we're good on that side. We've got enough space here, so we need to move this out. In fact, actually, you'll notice I'm eyeballing it. I saw that it was too much because I had an X right here. It was too close. I had an X here. I thought it was okay, and then I looked at it and said, no, I really don't think it is. So I'm going to take out all of these guys, and we're going to move our X on up. Now let's just make sure we have enough space coming the other way. We want 6 tons of steel. Yeah, we should be good. We could go a little past that. In fact, I can leave that as a marker for now. We can put this in and put our X in like so. Then we can take out our measuring line. And we can go back here and see if we've got it, if we're okay now. Yeah, there we go. There. Now that should work. And we'll put a chain signal coming in. And we'll have a single direction exit going out. And because we're trying to use 2 stations, we'll have the double direction signal on the other side. Okay, so there's your basic little how to use both platforms in a station if you're going to go in and come back out. So there we go with that. Let's build what we've got here. Okay, that looks pretty good. That that should work. Famous last words, but that should work. And of course, it'll work better if we actually have stations and stuff for them to go to. So, and build those, and go. And build this as well. Okay, so you also notice in the design we have, this is our N, and our N is going to bring in crops from the fields and put them in the silo, and then our out trains will load them from the silo and take them off where they're needed. And we've got a direct line, we'll see if that works, between our in and our out, so that you could unload and then load directly over to the other train if there happens to be one there. We'll see if that works. Let's see, what do we got? So we want to have, where's our big, wouldn't you know it, that is when our train decides it needs to run. Wouldn't you know it? Okay. If it waited just a minute. Okay, so let's see if we can't take that off. Yes, and put that on. Unload everything and see if it gets confused. Yeah, of course it does. Of course it does. All right, go back to the depot. You know how to do that, don't you? No, he doesn't know how to go back to the depot either. Oh man, oh man. All right. Let's see if it'll run like that. And of course, we have a coal train coming up here getting in the way as well. So where's it trying to go? Where does this train think it's trying to go? Where is the issue? View the issue. The issue is that. Oh, it's been trying to go to that. Oh, my bad, my bad. All right. Warehouse load. Go to there. Custom house. Delete. Let's see if it'll do that. Oh, come on. You tell me you can't go where you were always defined to go? I think what it's trying to do is go back to this stinking place. God. All right. Get these lines straight before you start running them, before you start trains. Lesson. That's the lesson for this. All right. Let's take that one off. Now will it work? No, see the problem now is it's on the right hand side and it can't find a way to get back. God. Maybe I can give it a temporary track. Maybe I can give it a way back around. All right, buddy, can you figure that out? No, he can't. Oh, there goes an entire load of crops. And they are hard to come by. All right, all right, all right. We need a train. We want it to go from here to here. Load crops, be completely full, go here, unload whatever you got, and go. And it won't go very far, it's going to run into the oil. It's okay, we'll get out of there in a minute. All right, so that should give us back our first farm's delivery capability. I did add double track farther down here. Let me see, in anticipation of maybe adding more farms. Let me see if I could have, if this all could have been avoided if I'd done a, that's correct, chain, exit. That shouldn't even be there, but it also shouldn't matter. Chain, exit, it's all correct. Okay, and our crop train is making its way from the depot. And we need a train to start taking stuff from here over here so we don't lose ground. We might as well get that while we can still afford it. This new train will go from our out to a little brownout situation here to that warehouse, carrying crops. And unload everything and go. All right, the other thing I meant to mention is just off camera, I did set up delivery. A truck goes to this tank. A tanker truck goes here, picks up a full load of oil, comes to the chemical plant. Another truck goes here and picks up boards, which we're importing, which is a crime. We're going to fix that and start creating our own boards. But he'll pick up boards and move them over here to the chemical plant. And a third truck is picking up, let's see, what is it? Gravel. It's picking up gravel over here at the output from our gravel factories and bringing it over here to the chemical plant. And the only thing we're missing now is a truck to run crops into the chemical plant. And I was thinking about putting a truck to run from here to here, but then I realized, well, no, why didn't it run from here to here? That makes a lot more sense. So we can go ahead and set that up. It'll be a while before it's ever used, but let's see, crops would be a covered hull. We'll run that guy right there. And he will go to here, here to here, and he will pick up crops. Wait till you're full, go here and completely unload and go. Okay, so now we have trucks delivering everything that is needed for the chemical plant, and we'll work on making sure, as I said, we'll add boards here in a minute once we're happy with all this. But the main thing I want to do really is add more farms. So let's see, what do we got? We've got a train to deliver to here. We need a train to deliver to here, and we need more farms. So let's get our farms. Another big old farm. Too hilly here, pretty hilly here. Let's just build one. Let's put a farm right in here. Maybe we can use trucks to deliver just to show how you can do it different ways. Now this thing is going to get in our way. Almost certainly, so let's move it. Let's move this over here. No, we could. Oh, do you want to watch paint dry? We could build our farms with our construction setup. Oh, do I want to watch paint dry? I can't swear that I do. All right, not yet, not yet, not until we have steel. All right, so let's build a new construction office over here, out of the way. And if we put a little road in here, and of course there's a giant hill there, of course. Well, they're going off to do something. Wonder what they think they need to do. I see something I don't like. This guy stopped for this one, which makes no sense. And look at this. We got a random. This is an improvement opportunity for sure. We get these random chains down through here. There. That train was confused for a bit. Now it's not. Okay. And this one's confused, but hopefully it'll be unconfused when this one goes on through. Yeah, it is. All right, it's good. And I don't know where these guys are going. I don't know what they think they're doing. Now, if I had that to do over again, I would delete them all. I would sell them all and rebuy them. Way, way easier. Okay. And I still don't know where these things think they need to go. There is one cool thing that the game will do. If you have a slow moving vehicle like this on a road, like an ambulance comes up to it or whatever, or a bus, they'll pass it. That's kind of cool. I've seen that happen a bunch of times in through here where there's a fair amount of traffic. All right, so, okay. We've got everything assigned over here. We don't know where they think they're trying to go. There's no construction assigned to this office, so where they're going, oh, maybe they're going to get fuel. That could be. That could, they may be going here. Let's just see, out of curiosity's sake. Yep, they're going to get fuel. Okay, I can accept that. All right. All right, let's build a farm out here. All right, let's do this one with a road cargo station and a silo. And of course the farm. And our silo has to come back a bit. Oh, no. We can curve it a little bit. Put it at an angle, I mean, and perhaps it will work with the cargo station as is, and we won't have to move it. If we do have to move it, we'll move it. Beautiful. All right. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9 large fields, and we could probably put, let's see, 10, 11, there we go. Now this farm's going to have some work to do. And again, I haven't done any studies to figure out, what's the right number of fields to put on a farm or anything else. So we're just making best guesses on what we've seen so far. Gotta wait till daylight. I just can't see. So this will be interesting. This one we're going to load directly from the silo. This one will load into a truck cargo station, and we'll see if there's any difference in performance here. Got 2 more left to sow, and then all these will be growing. Oh, maybe if we put some vehicles on here, that would be nice. Sowing. Harvesting. And power line. Where in the world is the power line? And that question mark is probably a shouldn't be there. Yes, it is. This is, occasionally you'll get these where they're confused when they're sitting here unloading. Oh, wait, no, this one is messed up. Oh, you know what? This is one that was set up to do probably clothing. Well, I don't know. It was probably set up to do clothing, and I didn't quote fix it unquote. So let's add a stop right here, and we'll make this a load clothing. Go to the shopping center and unload what you got. There he's happier. Okay. There we go. Now, we lost a train. Have we actually had a shipment? Anyway, look at this. We've actually had a shipment. This train has actually shipped crops over here. Hooray for our side. All right, let's stop right here. It's the end of 1970. We have built out a couple more farms. We've got our distribution center ready for our crops. All we're really missing is a train that goes from over here to here with crops, and we should be all set and ready to move crops around all over the place. What's this guy doing? 10 tons of crops. Okay, I thought about this. There's one issue. Shoot. We've got too many trains trucks trying to deliver to this. Gonna have to fix that. All right, we want to bring in gravel. I hate to do a gravel storage. God, that sucks. We can give it a tanker. We can give it a tank. Okay, a small, geez. That's the problem with running. We only have 2 places for trucks. I really don't want these trucks just running back and forth all the time just to keep that open. It's just a waste. But then again, now the alternative is to build more storage out here. So a small aggregate store can hold the gravel. But it doesn't connect to this. We'll let them run back and forth for the time being. There we go. This one can actually start loading over here, or unloading. There we go. Yeah, we're back in business. We got workers, we got stuff going on, we got train. Oh, man, we've got trucks just running back and forth, but that's okay. At least it'll keep filling us up. All right. Okay, now we can stop. Okay, we've got 2 other big agro farms going. We've got truck lines set up to deliver to here, to our distribution center for crops. We've actually seen some crops get distributed. I've got a little bit of brownout to deal with right up here. I'll deal with that, and we should be good to go. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it'll help you become a better player, and I hope you'll join us for our next Workers and Resources Soviet Republic video. Thank you.